This video here we're going to deal with the topic of skew lines. So basically what skew lines are, they're two lines, they're non-intersecting but they're non-parallel at the same time. Okay, so they go on forever, they won't intersect but they're not actually parallel. We call them skew lines. So normally two things come up with them. We deal with our shortest distance between the skew lines, which is basically when we get the two of them looking parallel and then we get a perpendicular line between them. That's the shortest distance. And in this video, the one we're going to look at is the shortest horizontal distance, okay? So basically we find the shortest line that appears horizontal in elevation. It's lined out very much like coordinate geometry. We go in a measurement, up a measurement, and down a measurement. So in this case, we're going to have skew lines A and B, and we're going to have another skew line CD. Okay, so two lines A, B, and CD, and they're the coordinates for A, B, C, and point D. Okay, so in from the left hand side, up from the horizontal plane, and then out from the vertical plane, which is down basically from our XY. So I'm just going to go line out these coordinates here now quickly, and then we get going then with finding the shortest horizontal distance between them. Now I have my skew lines lined out. So my AB I have in blue, my CD then I have in yellow in both plan and elevation. I just took in my ground there, my XY as my green line, and I'm going to keep that going throughout the views with those same colours. So the first thing then with our skew lines is we want to make one of these into a plane, okay? And we're going to use the other one to help us do that. So from one of our lines, from one point on one of our lines, we go parallel to the other line. Okay, so from one of the points on one of the lines we go parallel to the other line. For example, in this one now I'm going to pick the point B and I'm going to go parallel to the line CD from the point B. Okay, so you can set up your sliding set squares. I'm using the rolling ruler. Okay, so I set it up parallel to the line CD and then I run that off point B. Okay. And from the other point then on the plane, I need to make a horizontal line. Okay, so I'm going to make a horizontal line from A to hit that line there. Okay, so make a horizontal line from A to hit that line there. Okay, so let's put it a little bit heavier so you can see it exactly. So the line from B is parallel to the line CD. Okay, so the two of those lines are parallel, and from point A, we create a horizontal line. Okay, now that's going to enable us, so this is a plane almost, it's going to enable us now in plan. So when I draw this line here in plan, it's going to enable me to look, we'll say at this plane that I would have created as an edge view almost. Okay, or I'll also be looking along a line that would be parallel to the horizontal trace of that plane. Okay, and going to another topic of mine in geometry, this would be a line which would be a strike. When I draw this in plan, it will be the strike of that there in plan. Okay, so I'll just rub out the end of that for the minute. Now, so I want to locate this point here down in plan. I'm going to call that for point P. So I drop P straight down to my plan, and I want to locate exactly where that is. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly what I've done up here. From my point B, I went parallel to my line CD. I'm going to do the very same here. From my point B, I'm going to go parallel to the line CD until I strike that point that I'm after dropping down. And that will locate the position of point P in plan. So obviously if I go parallel in this direction, it's never going to hit it. So I'm basically going parallel in that direction there. So again, parallel to that line in plan. So to my line CD in plan. So make sure you're exactly parallel to it, and then replicate that from point B, and that locates point P in plan. Okay, so now all I want to do, point P is joined to A, so I'm going to do the very same here in plan. So that line now that I'm drawing, I know is a true length line. Okay, because it's horizontal in my elevation, it's a true length in my plan. Okay, that line there is a true length line in plan. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look along the view of both lines, looking along that true length. Okay, so I'm finding the view now, looking along that true length for both of those skew lines. So point A I projected along, point B goes the same, point D also, and point C the same. And I'm going to create an XY then, 90 degrees to those projection lines. Okay, and the same again, I'm going to put my XY in my green. Now I want to create a view, so this is an auxiliary elevation looking along the true length. So the same as always, I take my heights there from this elevation and knock them onto this elevation down here. So that's my x1, y1. Now I have my points lined up in my new elevation there. So I'm going to do the very same that I done the last time. I just join my points together. That gives me my skew line CD, and it also gives me my skew line AB. Now you'll notice there, all I've done there is roll it across, because those two lines should now at this stage appear parallel. If they don't appear parallel, there's something after going wrong in you. Those lines in this auxiliary elevation should appear parallel. Okay? Now at this stage, when you are dealing with a short as horizontal, at this stage you're going to take another view, and your XY is going to be 90 degrees to your XY here. Okay, or your projection lines are going to be parallel with your XY here. So that's what we'll go with first, okay? We'll make all our projection lines, this time parallel to this XY that we have. So I'll just project them up the page. And we make an XY 90 degrees to them. Okay, and again I want to put my XY in my green. Just looking at that there, my AB should be in blue. I wasn't paying attention to my colours. AB should be in blue down there. Okay, so this XY and this XY are 90 degrees to each other. My projection lines are parallel with my X1, Y1. Okay, so this is my X2, Y2. So I'm taking another view. So as you know, I go back here to take my distances and mark them off up here. Okay, so I'm going one step back. So this is the one that I'm at, and then we go a step and back to here. Okay, so that's the one I'm at. We go step back and back to here. Okay, so I'm just going to take my distances here and mark them off. So I have my points lined out, and I'm going to put on the correct colour on this time. So CD is my yellow, AB is my blue. Okay, so now we have a view where those lines appear to cross over at this point here. So what I'm going to do with that point is I'm going to project that now back into my other views, the same direction as my projection lines had previously gone. Okay, so the first one, so back to my auxiliary elevation. Okay, so that's where it appears to cross. Just drop that back into that view there. And I'm just going to put that line in between them as red. That's the point that I'm after dropping back. So that's my line now that I'm dealing with. That's the one I'm saying is my shortest horizontal. Okay, and if we look at this is an elevation, same as this guy up here. It should be parallel to my XY. Okay, it should be parallel to my X1, Y1 for this elevation. And when I bring it up here, it should also be parallel to my normal XY. Okay, so I'm going to drop it back to plan there now. So again, looking in the same direction. So that's the way I project it here. That's the way I project them back. This is the one on the line AB. and this is the point on the line CD. Okay, so there's that line in my normal plan. And I'm now going to project that point straight up to my elevation. Okay, I don't need a rolling ruler here. The set square will just project that straight up. That's on my yellow line, my CD. And this one then is on my blue line, my AB. Okay, and we join that up in our elevation. Okay, and it should be a perfect horizontal line parallel with my original XY. Okay, so there's all my steps, my original elevation, my original plan. Then we take an auxiliary elevation looking along our true length line here that we found with our horizontal line from A. That located point P, which is found by recreating CD from point B. Okay, and we do the very same plan. So from point B, we basically replicated the line CD, and that located P when we dropped it down. We looked along the line AP, which is our true length, and we got our two skew lines as parallel lines. After that, then we took another auxiliary view, okay, with the lines projected parallel with my X1, Y1. Okay, we can see them there clearly, projected parallel with the X1, Y1. And where the two lines appear to cross, we basically drop that then back into the other views. Okay, so that's skew lines shortest horizontal.